Hello and welcome to another Diecast review. This time we're going to be looking at Chris Buescher's number 17 Fastenal Ford Mustang from the 2021 season. This is the same paint scheme that he drove to a fantastic run at Homestead in the third race of the year, and it just came out. You can find it at circlediecast.com, linked in the description. So I already got it out of the box. I like to just keep these out of the box. I don't like to waste your time trying to fumble with my hands to get it out of the box for you, but a very good-looking car. I absolutely love the blue that is on this paint scheme and in turn is used on this die-cast model. You can see a lot of really crisp edges, which are good, especially when you have that blue. The decaling is very, very nice as well. This is actually a car very few errors on. My voice is a little surprised because a lot of times I've noticed that the Mustangs, being a newer mold, have a little more little errors, but we'll move that to the side for now. I want to look at these boxes because, again, this is our first 2021 diecast review. The 2021 boxes are fantastic. I freaking love them with this stripe around, the color that kind of is an accent to the box and also kind of ties in the car. I always love it when the packaging really features that color prominently. Barcode NASCAR there, Action Race Collectibles. The back, of course, not the same as the front, which is something that's, that symmetry isn't really used all the time. Love the Action Racing Collectibles logos that they just have decided not to change. But there again, there's that stripe. Chris Buescher's number 17 Fastenal 2021 Mustang Limited Edition, number 164 scale stock car limited edition collectible. And then on the front, of course, Chris Buescher, Roush Fenway Racing, ages 4 and up. Choking hazard on the bottom of the box now, not up on top. You see it's stamped at the bottom. That's an EL mold. Again, that choking hazard it's kind of weird that it's on the bottom of the box because it's always been up here on the top right there. So it's kind of weird. But like I said, I absolutely love how they kind of did this with the boxes. They redid the layout just a little bit. That little subtle touch, I think it makes the box look cleaner from the top. Not that that's really what you're going to be looking at, except for when you pick it out from tents at your racetrack or when you're at the Lionel store, if you're getting them out of the box when you order a bunch of these from Circle Diecast, like I did. Because they're the best. They're the best. This is not an ad, but you'll see our little code across the screen. So this is the diecast car. It's Chris Buescher is getting Fastenal. Roush doesn't have a lot of extra sponsors on the side, if you can't tell. There's nothing on the rear quarters, nothing on the C-posts and whatnot, so it's kind of weird. But I'll do a little twirl here with the car. It looks nice and solid. It's got this cool hex pattern. I know you can really tell from the video, but it's really well defined too on the vinyl wrap that they put on the car. So that was very good to see. Sometimes those more intricate designs kind of blend in, bleed a little bit. So good to see that that's not the case. Of course, you got the big splitter on the front because the Ford tooling is the newest. It came out in 2019 when the Mustang debuted, so it's got the accurate. You see the front. This again is the one. This is the one inaccuracy with this car. The Cup Series on the front banner. It should say the driver's name. Now, my understanding of it is that it is that way because these cars were approved and were pretty much shipped out before it could get fixed. Also, notice how this hex pattern isn't kind of on the deck lid. We'll look at that again in a couple seconds here. But again, really solid on the front. Mustang, you got the 17. The one thing, maybe that left headlight a little droopy, a little bit of a lazy eye there with the passenger side headlight left on our viewing screen. So that's a little disappointing, but nothing. You can even see where it should have been placed in the indentation, but nothing too bad to write home about, especially if you're keeping them in the boxes like I do. You're not going to see that. You just keep the passenger or the driver's side out. No big deal there. NBD. The contingencies, K&N, 3M, Sunoco on the front fenders. And then you have just the NASCAR Cup Series logo. The side, looking clean. You got Mac Tools International, Simons, and Champion spark plugs. Your B-post. The Chris Buescher signature is really solid, too. I've always loved his name rail signature, which is really cool. And then, of course, this little bit of black underneath at the A-post. It works with that blackout on the B-post that a lot of the teams have been using. Also, just a quick note. You see how this black design is at the bottom. Remember, using those darker colors is a technique that the teams use for the OSS. Again, there you see that hex pattern. That's the only thing, and this is more of a gripe with the paint scheme, right? that hex doesn't go on to the deck lid. Not a big deal with the paint scheme, because I think this is definitely an upgrade from some of the last Fastenal scheme that also had the hex design. Again, looking at the side, I had to do a little quick cut there because of some battery. My battery ran out. Could you believe it? But yeah, black interior, of course, on the Gold Series cars. The rear is also blacked out. Again, seen a lot more teams do that with a darker color that haven't traditionally done it. This black here is kind of, with the design element, it's a good design element, but part of the reason for that is to kind of trick those optical scanners, because manipulating those rear quarters is very important for creating side force on these race cars. Again, the Fastenal really solid on the front. Design's the same on the driver's side, of course, but really solid, like really, really solid car. I love this car. They improved this Fastenal scheme 100%, in my opinion. I'm glad that Buescher kind of got his own scheme, because they used, I believe that was Stenhouse's last scheme that they used last year, his Fastenal scheme, and then they used it for Buescher. And I don't believe the Fastenal car made production last year either. I could be wrong. I kind of had to get out of the game with the pandemic and whatnot, starting JTN, but, you know, a really, really solid looking car. Decals, again, the one issue was that headlight. Not a big deal. You're going to have a lot of these imperfections, especially with some of these first rounds of cars. Usually you see as the year goes on that those kind of wane down a little bit. But nothing too big. Again, the other gripe, of course, is the name not being on the front banner, just because that's an inaccuracy. But that goes into just production timelines and whatnot. These cars were expected to be in May. And already middle of May is kind of a late date to start getting in the first 2021 diecast. And of course, you have to attribute that to the pandemic. Chris Buescher's 2021 Fastenal car, I give it 2 thumbs up. I love this car, man. It is so, so good looking. This is the kind of car you'd walk up to in the bar and you'd say, hey, what's cooking good looking, you know? It's a great diecast. And, folks, if you enjoy these reviews, please let me know in the comments down below. I love making them because I love collecting diecasts, so it gives me an excuse to collect even more. But with all that being said, if you're a diecast collector, if you're a Chris Buescher fan, of course, you're going to want to get this one. Pick it up as soon as possible. Again, we got a link to our friends at Circle B Diecast in the description below. You can use our code JTN at checkout on your order of $20 or more, so maybe you get this one. You find a couple other old Chris Bueschers. I believe they have his 2016 or 2015, whatever year it was. I apologize for not knowing that off the top of my head. What his Xfinity Series Championship car still in stock, too. So you can go check that out. And maybe get 2 of them, and then get one more, and then you get your $20, and then you'll get your free shipping, courtesy of us at JTN by using our code at checkout, JTN. This has been our review on Chris Buescher's number 17 Fastenal Ford Mustang from the 2021 season. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. It does us that's a huge help when you guys do that. If you're not already, subscribe. And also, if you feel so inclined, be a friend, tell a friend, share the video with all your friends, all your diecast collecting friends. And but Joe Twansky, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys in our next video. Peace out, everybody.